Good morning, my name is Stacy Sansom. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I'm here to share with you a new stamp bundle called Celebrate Sunflowers that will be available for purchase on June 3rd. I'm so excited about this new stamp set. I haven't been able to put it down since it arrived in my mailbox last week. I've made several cards already using this stamp set, however, today we're going to be making this one. The base of this card is a piece of Whisper White thick cardstock. And on top of that is a piece of Magenta Madness. This is one of the new in colors that will be coming out on June 3rd, as well as this one, which is called Just Jade. Now let's look at the stamp set that this comes with. It comes with 2 flower images, one larger sunflower and one smaller sunflower, along with 4 sentiments that I just think the font is beautiful and the sizing of these are perfect. It also comes with leaves that you can adorn your flowers with. As you can see, I have some of the smaller sunflower stamps colored already here just for display to show you what they look like. They're darling. In another video upcoming, we'll be making a card using this smaller sunflower image. My favorite part about this bundle, though, is the die set. It gives you the option to make the layered sunflower that I showed you in the card we will be making today. It comes with 2 sprigs of leaves, a double sprig and a single sprig, and it also comes with the correct size dies to cut out the images in your stamp set. The circle here is from the layering circles and will not be included in your stamp set. Let's get started. Just for simplicity and time, I've already pre-cut my paper. I'm using a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece of Whisper White cardstock, thick, scored at 5 1/2 inches. We're going to fold it down and use our bone folder to just crease it a little bit more so the card stays flat. The background in this card, like I mentioned, is a piece of 4 inch by 5 1/4 inch Magenta Madness, and it will just lay flat. But first we have some stamping and embossing to do here to get the image down. For the sentiment today, I am using a stamp out of the Celebrate Sunflowers kit, Know That You Are Loved. When I place my dies on my clear acrylic blocks, I always line it up with a straight line on the grid paper and look down and place my stamp kind of on a line just to get it as straight as possible. You can use any kind of embossing ink that you would like to do this. However, I would recommend the Versamark. I found that it is the best embossing ink available. Here is mine, and this is what it looks like. You can get this in the Stampin' Up! Catalog or at any local craft store. And I'm just going to line this up here and get it straight so my stamped image comes out straight. I'm using the Stampin' Up! White embossing powder. I keep mine in a bowl and dish it out on a spoon just to keep it all in one container, and it just seems to work out a little bit better that way for me. I forgot to rub this down with my embossing buddy, which removes any static that is already on the paper and reduces this mess here from the static cling. That's okay, we'll get by without it. I'm just going to grab my heating gun and emboss this. If you've never done this kind of embossing, you'll know that it's done because you'll see the powder change colors. Okay, just cool that off a minute. I was not very good about getting all of the embossing powder back into its home, so if you don't mind, I'm just going to change the sheet here so we get clean images. Alright, this is the bottom layer of our card and will be placed directly on the base, which is a Whisper White thick cardstock. To adhere my pieces to the cardstock today, I'm going to be using my Stampin' Up! Snail adhesive. It's just a roll of double-sided tape. You can use any kind of adhesive you'd like, glue, double-sided tape. It's really up to you, but to me the snail is the easiest for these kinds of projects. Okay, just a little bit. And I always like to line my card base up with the lines on my grid paper just so I can get the base laid down as straight as possible and I don't have a crooked card. My husband is always the first to point out when something is crooked on my cards. Okay, there's that. This is a piece of new designer series paper that will also be coming out in the 2020-2021 Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog. It is from the Flowers for Every Season designer series pack, and you get several 6x6 sheets of different designs. I've chosen to use this one today because I love the stripes and I just think it goes very well with my design today. So we're going to go ahead and tape that down and give it a belly band. And I want my band in the middle of the card, so again I'm going to line up the card base to get it as straight as possible here. Okay, this is the bottom of our sunflower that I've already cut out using the die that comes in the bundle. And this is the top of the sunflower. You can either leave these little pieces in or you can remove them. Either way you're going to get a really cool effect, and it just depends on what kind of look you want. For today's card I'm going to go ahead and poke them out, and I'm going to use my Pick a Tool by Stampin' Up! It offers several different tips that you can use to help you in your crafting needs. I really love this tool when dealing with my dies. The brush tip on the other end, I could brush it out on a mat and get all these smaller pieces out, but I just prefer to do it this way. I'm using more colors that are traditional to sunflowers, and this is So Saffron and this is Daffodil Delight that I'm using, but you can use any color that you would choose. If you would like a pink flower or a purple flower, then use pink or purple paper. It's totally up to you. I love abstract art. I'm not good at creating abstract art. This month's Paper Pumpkin Kit is a Box of Sunshine by Sarah, and it can be purchased through June 10th. Last month the Paper Pumpkin boxes sold out pretty quickly, so if you're interested, please go to www.stampinwithstacy.com and click on the Paper Pumpkin link to subscribe. You can subscribe for a 1-month kit, or you can subscribe for a subscription where you get a box every month. trash pile. So for my card, I didn't layer this perfectly. I wanted to give it kind of a different look, but you can definitely line these up, and the best way that I found to do that is just to move the piece around the flower until it lines up. You can kind of see the direction that it's going with the petals, and that is what it looks like lined up. To get this on there, I just simply applied some glue around the middle. I'm going to be using tacky glue, but you can use any kind of glue that you prefer. Just a little bit to hold it down. And you want to avoid getting any on the petals because it will prevent it from standing up. For the center of my card, I used a piece of early espresso and used the centerpiece die. Now you could either use a dimensional to pop this up a little bit, or you could just glue it flat. Right, I think I'm going to use a dimensional just to see what it looks like. I'm going to use my take your pick tool and get that off. Just gives it a little extra layer there in dimension. So for our flower, we need to put some leaves on, and I've gone ahead and cut some of the leaves out. This is what the leaves look like from the die set. It comes with one solid layer and one very delicate layer with the stem of the leaves and the veins, and I just think these are beautiful. You can use them in your card alone or layer them. I, again, off-centered them just to give it a little bit something extra. That's what we're going to be doing again today. These sprigs here were cut using the new in color Just Jade. This is Whisper White, and then I also cut some using some vellum. And just a little drop on the stem. How is everybody doing in the quarantine? Is your state open? I live in the Seattle, Washington area, so we are still under a stay-at-home order, and most places are still closed. Thank goodness I don't have small children at home. Both of my children are grown and live in San Antonio, Texas. My husband and I moved to Washington about 4 years ago for his job. And he loves it. I think it's okay. It's a little bit too cold here for my taste. On the flip side, it is absolutely stunning to view all of the trees and the greenery. Okay, so let's get started. Just gonna pop some stuff in. Give it a little bit of life. Now, I don't ever like to have everything the same, standing up at the same height. I like to alternate mine, so that's just what I'm doing, just giving them the tips a different place to land. Put the flower on it. That looks pretty good, so we'll get started with the... There are several ways you can do this. Today I'm just going to use my snail and apply a small amount of adhesive to keep them down. Looks pretty good. This is where this leaf was here. And that leaf can go there. Now to flip it and work on this end. Okay. Put this under here, like so. Okay, so that looks pretty good to me. Maybe just a little bit more angle towards the corner. Like so. Okay. I'm going to lay down some adhesive. And again, just kind of giving the ends of the tips a different place to land so they don't look like they're all the same height. Nature is not the same anywhere you look, and each branch is different. Okay, and then let's put in the last leaf. Lay some adhesive down to get it to stick. Okay, and there's a nice little nest for our flower to lay. And again, I'm going to use the dimensionals just to give my flower a little bit of pop from the base of the card. I love dimensionals because that means that everything is not just laying flat, and it gives a little bit of extra spunk. To do this, you just simply stick it in the plastic and kind of move it, and it'll peel off easily. There's this. And there's the card for today. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you have a lovely day today. I hope you enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you next time.